So I guess this is the intro. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello, hi. Today is a translated topic, but it's on a subject that a lot of queer people don't really like to talk about. Patience. This is a get ready with me. So I will not be mentioning any of the products that I'm using. You're gonna see me go from looking like
zombie. She looks like a zombie.
To this while I talk about being patient. Yeah. So yeah, if you need a little pep talk on being patient while transitioning, or really anyone could listen to this, but just like being patient. Like, you may not be able to relate to my story. I'm going to be sharing some stories. You may not be able to relate if like you're not queer or trans, but the concept of being patient will ring. So yeah, keep watching. So today's topic, what I am going to be talking about is something that not a lot of people like to hear. Patience. Just patience. And for some, in certain situations, this is something that is a joke. It's not an easy thing to do. But for someone else out there, this might be ideal. It makes sense. It's relatable. Especially if you are trans and transitioning. This is some good stuff that we're going to be talking about. So, something that I want to talk about as far as like being patient with yourself goes. Be patient with yourself. Patience with yourself. Something that I have to do on a daily, and this is whenever I'm getting dressed, whenever I get out of the shower, whatever the situation may be, if I'm out shopping or whatever, there's a thing called a mirror. And obviously you see yourself in the mirror, and I see everything that I don't like about my body, and so does like a lot of people. But, and someone in my similar situation, someone who has dysphoria, this could be very trying and just tug at your heartstrings and everything. It's hard. It's hard looking into the mirror and seeing a male body and not like, I know that I'm looking at myself in the mirror, but I don't feel like I am. It feels almost out of body. And it's always uncomfortable. And I know that a lot of other trans people also deal with the same thing. Patience is key. If you are like me and you're a baby in your transition, like I started hormones like a little over a month ago, and there has been no overnight, like, wow. Like the first week, I felt nothing. By the time week 2 came around, while I was on hormones, like I didn't see anything that was physically noticeable that was very like,
oh wow, that's changed.
It was little subtle things that I was feeling. Like, for example, I peed a lot more. I still do. Where one's breasts would be, I started feeling pain.
Still do.
Thank God for training bras. That helped a little bit. But there wasn't anything that was like crazy, like noticeable. Now that it's been a little over a month now, there are more noticeable changes. For example, I have a stomach now. Which, if you were to talk to my mom, my brothers, or my dad, they would tell you she's been small and petite forever. And not that that's a bad thing, but like I was just always small. But now I have that weird lady bump on my stomach. But see, that didn't happen overnight. That was over the course of a month. Another thing that's been noticeable is my butt. A couple days ago, I was in the bathroom. I was either doing my makeup or my hair, and my roommate came in, and she told me, she was like, hey, like I just noticed, like, your butt's gotten a lot fuller. And I didn't believe her, so I turned around and, like, looked at the mirror. And she was right. She was right. My butt is trying to become more defined, which is weird because I've never had a butt. Really? It's always been very bony, and now I can feel like there's something there. And again, that did not happen overnight. That's been over the course of a month. As you're beginning your transition, if you're already in your transition, just be patient with yourself. Be patient with your body. Be patient with the hormones. Be patient with the waiting list. If you're in for bottom surgery, top surgery, whatever it may be patient with that. Things will happen like this. If it could, I would love that. But that's not the reality, is it? But yeah, just be patient. Something that is hard though, and this is something that you're going to face on the daily, is people. The world is expensive. Living is expensive. If you're like me where you do not live at home, whether it be by choice or by... This is going to sound sad to some people, but like if you have been kicked out and you're living on your own, like you do have to make ends meet. Therefore, you do have to work. And it's not like working is a bad thing. However, when you are in a work environment that is very transphobic, it can be very hard and trying. For example, like if you have told people that you're trans and you told them your new name, which pronouns you like to go by, and they respect it, that's a different story. But if you tell them and they start treating you weird, they still don't respect your new name, your new pronouns, that can be trying too. It gets really frustrating. Now, if you have not said anything and you're getting mad at people for misgendering you, say something. It's okay to come out some... I know for certain situations it is not safe to come out, but if it's safe for you, come out. Now, what you can get pissed at is if you tell them and they don't respect it. For example, and I will not drop any names because everyone at my work knows that I have a YouTube channel now. So I will not be dropping names. I will be sharing stories. So I work at a hospital and I am a part of the sanitation crew in the kitchen. And I have told some of my coworkers that I love and care about and that I trust. Others I have not told. Not really because I don't think that they wouldn't be understanding. Well, maybe it is. But it's also just because I don't feel comfortable having those conversations. I don't like conflict. It's just not part of my nature. I wish I would be more upfront with people. I wish I could stand my ground a little bit more, but
I'm a pretty bad.
So there's some people that I work with that know, and they try. They try. So some of my coworkers are pretty good with my pronouns. Others are not, but they do correct themselves later. Either they do it on the spot or they'll come and apologize to me, which that's cool. Like, I'm glad that I do work at a workplace where it is trans inclusive enough that there's an environment where they feel like they're able to do that. So there are some that I have told at work, and regardless of the fact that they know, they still choose to misgender me. They still call me sir. They still say, oh, Christian, oh yeah, he.
Oh yeah, he. Oh yeah, he. Oh yeah, he.
And again, I don't like conflict, so I don't say anything. However, I do have a very obvious physical reaction. Like, I get very awkward. I get very quiet. But again, I'm at work. I gotta make ends meet. I've paid off my tuition finally for the semester.
Yay!
But I still live on my own. So I do have to make ends meet. So instead of making a big fuss at work, instead of making a whole scene being like, you keep misgendering me, I stay quiet. Instead, I let it continue, and it's like, I'm not going to be working there forever. I'm sorry for everyone that's working there, that likes to work with me.
I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be there forever.
So I don't really feel the need to have those awkward conversations. They are crucial. Like, I do know, and I admire these individuals that are able to have those hard conversations, that are able to stick up for themselves or others, and are able to do it without feeling awkward about it, without feeling contentious, without all the feelings that I usually feel when I try and attempt to. Kudos to you guys. But for me, I just can't. So I have coworkers that know, and amongst them there's maybe 2 or 3 that still choose to misgender me, regardless of them hearing other people use my correct pronouns. And it does sting because some of them work with me while I'm serving food with customers, and if the customers hear a certain pronoun, that's what they use. So I could be going a whole shift getting misgendered, which sucks, but again, I need to be able to make ends meet, so And who knows, maybe if they see this video, maybe they decide not to be rude. Now, there are others at work who I have not told, and it's mostly because I don't want to have to sit around and explain myself and like stop what I'm doing because I am at work. But it's also just because I don't care enough to tell those individuals. That makes you sound really dumb, but I just don't care enough to tell them. Like, people have noticed that my hair's gotten longer and that I wear makeup a lot. And for me, if they hear new pronouns getting thrown around at work, like if they hear other coworkers refer to me as she, or they say, oh, sorry, miss, then they hear it. If they catch on, they catch on. My body's going to be changing. They will notice, and if they decide to ask you questions, they can, or they can use their brain and just start using the correct pronouns. But again, I'm not going to be there forever, so I don't feel the need to do that. And that's just me personally. Other trans people I know feel otherwise, and they do stick up for themselves, they stick up for others. And I'm really good at doing it for others, just for myself, and I don't know why, but I just don't do that. If your work situation allows you to be out, or even if it doesn't and you are out, you choose what you do. If it matters that much to you that people respect your new name and pronouns, then yes, like, bring it up to them, talk about it. If it's more important to you that you have a steady paying job and that you're able to make ends meet, be patient. Now, when it comes to family, this is obviously a different situation because it's like, this is family. Something you have to be mindful of is that your family has been around you since you came out the womb. And if you were late like me with coming out, and say you're like 20 or 30 or whatever, they are going to slip up. That is something that you have to acknowledge. That's something that you have to accept, that your family's going to slip up. That's something you also got to be patient with. When I first came out to my family, so I first came out to my younger brother. Well, I only have younger brothers. My younger brother that's right after me, the one who's gay. When I first came out to him, kudos to him, he has never messed up. Never. Ever since I came out to him, he has been very good with my pronouns. He's never slipped, ever. My brother after him, when I first came home, he had a harder time using the correct pronouns, but it was after I had talked to him, and he asked me about when did I know and why did I come out as gay first. Once I shared with him my story, he's never messed up since. Well, he slipped up once, but hey, everyone around, I have acknowledged that everyone around me is also transitioning with me, so that is something that I had taken into account for. Now, for my parents, that's a very different case because it's like my brothers, they grew up in a very different generation, a different era. One of my non-queer brothers, he lives in a generation where he knows of other kids that are trans. He's met other kids. He's friends with them. So it's easier for him to just kind of make that switch. But he's also young. He has only known me since he's come out the womb. My parents, however, they've known me ever since I came out the womb. When the doctor announced that they were having a boy, I'm assuming that because they heard that they were going to be having a boy, that they had all these expectations set out for me, that they basically had my life plan before I came out the womb. So with them, I've been extra patient with them using my pronouns. My mom is very good at doing it. She'll slip up here and there once in a while, but she always corrects herself. My dad had a harder time when I first came out. He accepted it, but he had a really hard time with pronouns. But he's been coming around. My youngest brother, who is turning 5, he's only really known me as Christian, he, him, with a C, for only like a short amount of time. So for him, he's been pretty good with like my pronouns. He's been good at not calling me brother. Like, there was a time that my dad had FaceTime me because my brother was asking where I was at, and I was on my way to school. But mind you, I don't live at home, so it's hard for him to not have his big sis around all the time. So he wanted to FaceTime, and my dad hands him the phone and goes like, here, take the phone, talk to your brother. I mean, your sister. And then my younger brother said,
You said brother, it's not brother, it's sister. Hi, Christian.
so yes, a 4-year-old understands and gets it. The point of me telling you that story is that there are other people that will catch on quicker. There are some that won't catch on. And that's something that you just kind of have to accept. And by accept, that's not saying that it's okay that they misgender you. It's not okay that they're using your dead name. However, what I am saying is just to accept the situation and that you got the power to either keep them in your life or not. Like, to be very honest, there are some people that I don't talk to anymore. There's some people that I've kind of distanced myself from. There's some people that haven't come around at all. There are others that have. And that's just kind of the reality. Like, you just kind of have to roll with what Mother Nature gives you. But I think above all, be patient with yourself. Like, for a long time, I didn't want to label myself as transgender. I thought it was scary. I wasn't sure how people would react to it. But older and wiser now, I've come to terms with it. And I do have times where, like, I do think to myself, like, I do wish that I just would have came to Earth in the right body. I wish that some situations that I was in before, that I could have experienced them a lot differently. Like, for example, the church that I grew up in doesn't really accept people like me, or really anyone queer in general, if I'm being honest. However, I often think that if they did, if the church did, that I could have started my mission not as an elder, but as a sister. That's something that I wish I could have experienced, was serving my mission as a sister. But yeah, I wish that I could have had that experience as a sister, but the reality is that I did not. And that's something that I just kind of had to accept. And there are people that I made wonderful connections with while I was on my mission. And there's some that are cool with me being me. There are others that are not, and we don't speak anymore, which is sad, but that, again, is just a reality of being trans, or just queer in general. And see, there are times that, like, I wish that the hormones would work quicker, that I could have my surgeries done just right now. There's sometimes that I wish that some people would get a clue now. Everything that I'm telling you guys about being patient, I'm telling myself. And I do acknowledge that it's not easy being patient, but I have found that the times that I have been patient with either myself or others around me, that my anxiety is less, I'm less contentious, I have fewer mood swings, I just function better. That's really all I had to talk about, so I'm gonna go off camera and finish what I'm doing, and then we'll chat a little bit more. Okay, so this is the finished look. Yeah, I like it. As I shared my stories with y'all, I hope you're able to take something away from it. For some, especially if you're trans and transitioning, I know that it is very hard to be patient during the whole process. It's hard waiting for hormones to kick in. It's hard when you're on a waiting list. It's hard. Everything is just harder, and there's a lot of waiting. The times that I am feeling very dysphoric, the times that I'm too up in my head, I do pep talk myself a lot. I'm like, be patient.
Be patient. Be patient. Be patient.
And it is a good reminder for me personally. For others, this might be very frustrating. I can understand. Whatever your situation may be, whether you're waiting for a relative to catch on, whether you're longing for a good, queer inclusive work environment, whatever it may be, I hope that everything that I talked about with being patient, that it comes in handy for you. But yeah, that's all I got today. So if you like this video, give it a good thumbs up. Comment below about anything else that you'd like for me to talk about. If not, I'm gonna make up my own topics. I do have a makeup video coming up this Thursday. I've already filmed it. My model was very fun to work with, so I'm excited for y'all to see that. But yeah, subscribe so that you can get updated on new content and everything. And yeah, that's it. Okay, bye.